Good morning, it's Mike sitting here in the Light Runner on Friday, November the 13th, and just planning the trip back home, getting ready to go. I punched in our destination address to Calgary, and it's interesting, on the way down we hit 16 superchargers because I wanted to get one last top up in Culver City, just about 63 clicks out of Anaheim. So I know we're going to be about 15 superchargers on the way home. The Tesla planner here has us only hitting 14, so it'll be interesting to see if I can make it with just 14. I think it's quite possible, but only one way to find out, and that's to start the trip and go. So the car is all set and we're ready to go. Just need to load everybody up and then we hit the road. So more to follow. Here we go, we're all in the car and ready to go. We're heading from Anaheim, California, all the way up to Lebec, California, which is where the Tejon Ranch supercharger is. And I think there's an In-N-Out burger over there, so that could be really good. And yeah, we're ready to go. Everybody's in the car. We've got Ethan, and Sammy gets to ride in the back seat this time, and we've got Amelia and Melissa way back in the jump seats.
Hey girls, there you are.
And Tammy, come on in. There she is. Nice. Ready to go. Here we go. And here we are coming into the Tejon Ranch supercharger just outside of Lebec, California. Did this 113 miles in about 2 hours and 12 minutes. Had heavy traffic going through LA. Lots of construction out there, but this is our first supercharging pit stop and we're pretty excited to be here. And we made it with really good consumption. 82 miles left, which is actually 131 kilometers. So lots of buffer. I don't even know how long we're going to be charging here for, but I will plug in and get that figured out next. And we are back in the car. 45-minute pit stop. We went to Starbucks to get a chai tea latte. Took the kids over to Yogurtland, where they've got like 30 different flavors of yogurt and then assorted toppings you can put on top. And so we enjoyed a yummy yogurt, put some toppings on, and now we're back in the car and ready to go. We've got 116 miles to our next supercharger, which is at Harris Ranch. Oh yeah. Pulling into Harris Ranch Supercharger. Looks a whole lot different during the daytime. So this is the Harris Ranch restaurant. Really, really good food in there. That's where we ate on the way down. And these are the superchargers. All right, just backed into the supercharger spot, and a quick look at the stats shows us 130.8 miles, used up 54 kilowatt hours, an hour and 51 minutes to get here. And we ended up with 17% of our battery remaining, and that's even with Tammy's detour that took us to have a look at the Mojave Desert. Because there's nothing out there to see. And there's our battery state with 45 miles left in the battery, which is tons. I'm going to pop out and start us supercharged. And we're all punched in to start out down here at Harris Ranch, and we're going to Manteca. Total of 211 kilometers. And while we were running around, we charged up to about 402, so we got plenty of range, even though we'll be going a little bit uphill. Shouldn't be a problem at all. Let's go. All right, it is 5:35 and we are pulling into Manteca. We've traveled from Harris Ranch 134 miles, and we've done it in about an hour and 55 minutes. Made some really good time on the way here, and this is going to be our dinner stop. So as we get set up for charging, we're going to probably walk over to find some dinner, and that'll probably give us an hour or so, and I'm sure by the time we get back the car will be full. And these are the nice chargers with the glowing red. Let me put them on camera here. There we go, a whole bunch of them. And yeah, talk to you shortly once we plan out our next trip. Okay, as you can see, we made it here with 46 miles left on our battery, and when you look at my trip profile, 17% of range left, so I actually did pretty good. Like I said, it was not that much headwind, and we made really good time. So I'm going to set it up to charge. See you all in a bit. All right, we're back in the car. We had a great dinner, stopped in Manteca, California, and had sushi, excellent sushi. While we were gone for about an hour, we are almost full. We're sitting at 266 miles in the car, which should be plenty. This is the longest leg we're going to be taking. We're starting here in Manteca and going all the way up to Corning, California. A total of 278 kilometers or 175 miles. So this was the one last time where we came here with a pretty low state of charge. It'll be interesting to see what we end up with when we end up in Corning. Here we go. We're 38 miles out of Corning, California, and you can see on the dash there we've got 53 miles left of range in the battery. When we look over here, you can see it's 38 miles to our destination in Corning, California. And the graph below shows we're doing an average of 440 watt hours per mile, which is kind of what I've been getting. What's interesting is when you go over to the trip computer, its analysis is telling me that we're going to show up at site with -1 of range remaining in the battery, which I'm not really worried about because that 53 miles of range left in the battery is really more correct. So I think I just had some uphill that I've been climbing here for this last little while, and the trip computer down here is just taking a guess that if it keeps being this much of a climb, it could be a problem. But again, not really worried about it. We're 37 miles out, and I know for a fact we're going to make it. Alright, I had to find a buddy. I've got 7 miles of range left on the battery, and we need to go 9.5 miles to get to our supercharger, and my projected range is 5 miles left, so we're gonna do some drafting here. So just to show you what that looks like here, we've got 7 miles of range on the battery. Let's bring up the battery here. Should be, nice and red. 7 miles of range left, and 9.1 miles is how far away we are from the supercharger. And if we look at our guesstimate there, we got 4 miles left of projected range, and the trip is saying that we are going to make it with -1 on a battery. So it's going to dip into the reserve that it has built in for us just in case. But I don't think we'll need to go there because right now we're doing 59 miles per hour. We were doing 75 all the way here, so I've slowed a bit and I'm drafting. So watch this. And we made it to Corning, California. Now, interestingly enough, and I'll show you the dash in a second, we got to 0 range about, he's on 1B, so I'm going to go with 3B. We got to 0 about 3.5-4 miles ago, and the car just kept going, which was really nice and appreciated. And it got us all the way here, and I drafted behind my buddy, the semi, and then he turned off and left me on my own, but we made it no problem. Good job, Light Runner, you made it. Okay, so if we look at our battery, we are at 0 miles remaining. And if we look at our screen saying, yep, battery low, if it gets any colder, we're going to have even less energy. Well, that's nothing we got to worry about because we got to charge up and plan my next charge. You are almost too far from known charging locations. I'm actually parked at one, so I'm okay. We can cancel that. And here's the dash. So it is sitting at 0 miles as well. We made it. I knew we could. And I realized when I said watch this, that's always when bad things happen. So I got to remember not to say watch this before I do something next time. Anyways, going to plug in. Okay, all done charging at Corning, California. Our next stop is the last one for the night. It's going to be over at Mount Shasta. And to get there, we've got 173 kilometers from Corning and an elevation gain of some 1,440 meters. So again, this is the highest supercharger in the West Coast network. And we're going up there to spend the night. All right, all set and ready to go to Mount Shasta, last stop for the night, right? How's everybody doing? Good?
Good.
Everybody's good.
We're going to get there with more than -1% this time, right?
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Because I've got a co-pilot that's going to be paying attention now for a change. Here we go. We are rolling into Mount Shasta, California, and it is what time? Well, just about 1 a.m. Is it right over here? And we're, right on time. We're going to stay at the Best Western Plus Treehouse, have some breakfast in the morning. You know what, maybe I'll park it, then plug it in and take it to 90%, and then I'll just, from the app, tell it to charge to full. That's what I'm doing. Oh yeah, I love the app. Okay, I'm just about to plug in and start charging. I'm going to take it to 90%. Made it here with 62 miles left on the battery. This is all from the mountains, and look at that trip. It estimated we'd get here with 23, and that's what I got here with, was the 23. That actually changed from earlier, but yeah. Here's us having breakfast at the hotel. Lissa, say good morning.
Good morning.
How does it feel just dumping some apple juice on your sister?
Orange juice. It was good.
It was good? How did it feel receiving said orange juice?
What?
Baby. Master Ethan, how you doing?
Good, you?
And good. And Samantha Pepper, girl on fire, how are you?
I'm good.
You're good? How's your breakfast? Oh yeah, look at that. That's yummy. All right, the car is warm and fully charged, so as soon as we're done here, we load our bags and we go. Yeah? Back in the car, and we are sitting at pretty much a full battery, 430 kilometers. And we're going from Mount Shasta all the way over to Grants Pass, 188 kilometers total, which we'll flip over to miles because that's how it while I'm driving. 117 miles. And it tells us that if I drive the way it wants me to, we'll get there with 55. in Grants Pass. We made it with tons of range left. 105 miles on the battery remaining, which is 169 kilometers. So tons of range. Yeah, I'll figure out how much we need to go to the next stop as we're charging and give you guys an update from there. So on the dash, there we are. Ooh, look at that, 35,578 kilometers on the Light Runner since March 31st. This car gets driven. Back from a visit to McDonald's, we had a coffee and some ice cream, and we are almost fully charged, 420 kilometers in the battery, and we're heading now to the supercharger in Springfield, Oregon, which is 222 kilometers away, or in miles, 138 miles, starting here and going, I think, downhill a bit to Springfield. So again, range should not be an issue. Trip computer says we should make it with 39% battery free. Let's go. Here we are in Springfield during the daytime, pulling in after 2 hours of driving and about 140 miles and change from our previous stop. Had to do one emergency stop about 15 miles prior to Springfield because I really had to go to the washroom. So we did an emergency pit stop and got on our way, and here we are, and we're gonna make it with tons of range left. 65 miles still in the battery. Here we are at the Springfield Supercharger. Just wanted to show you we did make it with 24% remaining on the battery. Did really good. Everything's in the green for this one. No rain this time, which does make a difference on range that you get. So we're going to supercharge up here for a little bit and figure out what our next destination is, and then we'll be off. Okay, I think we've got enough of a charge. We're going to cut it short because our next destination is to Woodburn. So here we are in Springfield, and it's about 77 miles up to Woodburn. And with what we've got now in the battery, we've got 199 models. Plenty. Well, we've been on the road for about an hour, and we're just pulling into Woodburn, Oregon, where we're going to be supercharging yet again. So this will be a short pit stop, and then the next stop we're going to grab dinner because it's only 4 o'clock. So I'm thinking 30 minutes here, and then probably 2 hours to the next stop, which kind of puts us right in the range of dinner. Alright, so just a quick look here at the battery. We've got, what do we have? 100 miles left of range, so plenty of range. And if we look at the trip, actually I'd stop there so I don't have that on there anymore, but we had a really good run here. Alright, back in the car at Woodburn, Oregon. We just took a quick pit stop, charged for about 40 minutes, and got ourselves to 372 kilometers. Now, we are going from Woodburn, Oregon, and moving all the way up to Centralia in Washington. Whoa, that was not fun. I went down the wrong way. But hey, on the plus side, we're in Centralia, Washington. We made it. Yeah, we need food. We need food, and we need Red Bull so that we drive on the right side of the road. Forgot I was in America! And Canada, where we drive on the right-hand side of the road. My co-pilot has been totally ineffective this entire trip, just for the record. Wanted to state that. But we have made it to the superchargers. Ooh, look at this. All of them to ourselves. And it's raining. Alright, we're going to set this up. Alright, we're parked at the supercharger. Just wanted to show you. We did get here safely. A little bit of a mix-up on which side of the road to drive on. But I've got all that straightened out. We've got plenty of range left. We did lose a little more than expected, 62 miles left, because we ran into some rain. So that, of course, took some away, but made it here with 23% of battery remaining, which is always a nice thing to see. And since we're here at 6:45 p.m., see that right up there, 6:45, we are going to go for supper, and we are going to do a nice charge. I'm sure we'll have an hour at supper, maybe a little more. We're going to come back to a full car, which is always nice. All right, it's been about an hour and 20 minutes, and we are back from supper. Here's where we're going next, to Burlington, Washington, from Centralia, 242 kilometers. And if we take a look at our charge state, we are pretty much right full. 430 kilometers to go, a few more being topped up, but I am going to stop charging and we are out of here. By the way, this is how you stop charging. Stop charging. 331. Oh, I just need to check. Settings, energy. So we added 60 kilowatt hours. And distance we added was 331 kilometers. That's it. Well, here we are pulling into Burlington, Washington. It's just about 11 p.m. and we've been driving now for well, not just driving, but traveling and taking breaks for 14 hours. And yeah, now I'm looking for the superchargers because I can't remember where we left them. Looks like they'll be over here. This will be our last charge before we go into Canada. So we're going to charge up here tonight and then cross the border and stay in Hope, BC. So, and it's been raining a lot. I can't remember when we've seen this much rain, but I almost suspect it's been raining the whole time that we were down in Disneyland. Look at all of these superchargers. Well, we're here, and the heavy rain really affected our range. We made it here with 23 miles remaining. So plenty still. I had to kind of manage what I was doing because pretty much as soon as we left Centralia, the trip computer here was telling us that we were around -6 we were going to arrive at, and that was right at the beginning of the trip of 154 miles. So had to do some drafting and just manage my speed, slow it down from 75 to about 65 and make it through, and we did. This range started coming back up. I got it up to 13%. Looking good here at Burlington. We've got 355 kilometers of charge, and I've already punched in our destination, Hope, BC. There's the US-Canada border, and it's looking like 155 kilometers on this leg of the trip. So about an hour. This thing's saying an hour and 57. It's usually right, so I'm going to try and do it in a little bit less, an hour 45 or so would be nice. We've also got the crossing at the border, which I'm thinking at this time of the night, you know, by the time we get there around 12:30, 12:40, we should be getting through pretty quick. So we'll be over in Hope, drop off Tammy and the kids. I'll pop the car over into the supercharger, and we'll have a full battery in the morning ready to get us home. Here we are in Sumas, Washington, which is the border town right before the Canada-USA border crossing. So I'm going to turn off the camera before we get there, but This is the small town as you approach the border crossing, and right now we're at 12:41 a.m. I think we're going to be through in 5 minutes this time. This is the time to come and cross the border. 3 minutes to cross the border into Canada! Goodbye to America! Kids are all back asleep. We had to pop open the back, the trunk with the two girls in the jump seat so the border crossing guard could see them. And they were woken up to really cold air. And yeah, everything went well, nice and smooth. And we're off to our hotel in Hope, BC. I think I have 81 kilometers to the hotel, and it'll be about 45 minutes till we get there, I think, and then we'll be plugging into the supercharger in Hope and getting a good night's sleep before we continue on. 1:48 a.m. and I just pulled into the supercharger. I've dropped off Tammy and the kids at the hotel, and as you can see, we have made it with plenty of range to spare, 75 kilometers, and I did make it in a half an hour. It was about 35 minutes. It's now 1:49, so by the time we got the kids unloaded and everybody in, and me to the charger, now I've got about a 5 or 10 minute walk back to the hotel, but it's all good. Get some fresh air, the car will get some fresh electrons, and we'll be ready to go in the morning. Good night. You guessed it, it's another rainy day here in Hope, BC, and if we actually take a look, up the mountain, you can see while it's raining down below, there is snow up on top. Right, we're going to Kamloops, which is right here is us at Hope. We're going to work our way up through the mountains, through Merritt, into Kamloops. Lots of elevation gain, lots of temperature drop, lots of power needed. 198 kilometers, and we are sitting with 430 kilometers. I've preheated the car. It's going to be nice and toasty warm. All I need to do now is go and pick up Tammy and the kids, and we'll be on our way for the first leg of our journey back home to Calgary, Alberta. Here we are, we're making our way back through the mountains onto the Coquihalla, and it appears that while we left Canada, somebody turned winter on. So, light runner meet winter, winter meet light runner. I think it's going to get a lot worse once we get more into the mountains. This is just the beginning, just outside of Hope, BC. There's a sign up ahead, it says chain up area, so the big trucks start throwing chains on because they call this passage the highway through hell. Oh, one more note on winter driving in Canada. Here in this province, in British Columbia, they mandate that you have winter tires. So if you're going to be driving out here in the winter, they need you to have winter tires on your vehicle. So for us, we have our winter tires on. We actually took them down to California and showed them the sun, and now we're going to show them the winter. So I'm not too worried. We've got all-wheel drive. Well, we're just coming to the tail end of the Coquihalla, and we've made it through some very bad stuff. It was slushy, it was snowy. The problem out here is once it starts snowing, the snow builds up and accumulates, creates a nice little layer of slush that is worse than hydroplaning, because once it lifts you off the road surface, then you tend to glide for a while. So we had that happen for a little bit, but it was nice and straight, and the car came out of it just fine. The traction is great, and it holds the road really well. Definitely T-retrous driving conditions out here on the Coquihalla. But we made it across the highway through hell, and the Light Runner did great. We're all nice and warm. Our range looks like we're going to make it with 3% range left, so we definitely shed a lot of our energy going through the mountain pass there. But that's okay, because we're 10 kilometers from the supercharger in Kamloops. There is the salmon charger in Kamloops. You see the salmon right there. Happy to see that guy. There we are, 9 kilometers left on the battery. And you can see that we made it with 2%. And of course that's because I went quicker than the computer thought I would. And we lost some range because of that. But yeah. Made it, not a problem, not a worry. We had heat running all the way. All right, went across the street to the mall and had to walk very carefully because I'm wearing sandals and there's snow everywhere. But we managed to find an Orange Julius and got everybody a smoothie. Here's our next leg of the trip. Going from Kamloops over to Revelstoke. And because we spent so much time here, we're back to pretty much full, 424. And we're going to hit the road. Here we are, just pulling into Revelstoke, British Columbia. Our next supercharger stop here is just about 1 kilometer away. We've driven 218 kilometers, used up 54 kilowatt hours to get here, and I think I've still got a good buffer of 98 kilometers of range left in the battery. So I took it easy this time. We made really good time. There was no snow on the road, just a little bit of wet, and we did really, really well. just backed into the Revelstoke supercharger. We're sitting at 97 kilometers of range left on the light runner, and our next stop is Golden, which is a little over 150 kilometers away. So within a half hour we'll have probably more than enough. I think we have enough charge to leave Revelstoke. We're sitting at 337 kilometers of range. Our next stop is Golden, BC, so through the mountains, 146 kilometers. So we've got double the range we need, and we're going to be going a little bit slower because I think there's going to be some snow in through the mountains, and I suspect we will make it with, let's see, it's saying that we'll make it at 39. I think we'll probably make it down around 10%. Another beautiful night in Golden, BC. We just pulled in. I dropped Tammy and the kids off at a Boston Pizza a little ways down the street, and she's going to order supper while I get the car set up and charging. An hour and 36 minutes, and that includes the drop-off of them at the restaurant. I had to double back. We just covered 152 kilometers through the mountains from Revelstoke to Golden. Really, really good time. Roads were just wet, a little bit of slush, but nothing dangerous or serious. So we were able to pretty much do the speed limit all the way here. Had a few bigger trucks that slowed us down, but we were easily able to pass those where the passing lanes were provided. Just a fun drive, which is actually quite fortunate considering it's winter out here. So here is the superchargers in Golden. Oh yeah. All right, just pulled up to the supercharger. I'm going to record some data and then run over and plug in. So as you can see, we're sitting here in Golden right now and arrived with pretty decent range left, 89 kilometers. Back in the car from dinner at BP. Had a nice 5 or 7 minute walk to get here. We've been charging for an hour and 20 minutes. That's how long it took us to finish supper and get back here. Our next trip, it takes us from Golden over into Canmore, Alberta. 158 kilometers. It's saying 2.5 hours. I'm going to try and do it in about 2 hours or less. Well, we were making great time until we ran into a situation on the highway between Golden and Canmore. We're at a dead stop, and we've been at a dead stop for about 20 minutes now. Sounds like a big truck spun out, 2 big trucks spun out up ahead, and there was an accident. So the roads are really icy and just getting icier and icier as we wait. So we're finally starting to roll. We've just turned into Canmore and we're moving in towards the supercharger. Made it through some pretty rough road between Golden and Canmore. There was some very slippery sections. Just a quick look at the computer shows us that we still have about 135 kilometers of range left, 158 kilometers in the battery. And our trip, we did pretty good, pretty close to what it had predicted we would do. Came in with 37% range remaining. So what are we at now on the Light Runner? We've got 37,278 kilometers on the car. So far. Time to schedule our next maintenance before we hit the 40,000. Alright, I'm going to pop out, supercharge up, and then we're headed home. Okay, I think we're ready to go. I punched in the final coordinates to get me home from Canmore to Calgary. Looks like we're going to arrive with 42% in the battery, and we're sitting at 309 kilometers of rated range. So plenty to get us home on this last leg of our journey, thus ending our Disneyland trip 2015. It's 1:30 in the morning, and we're back, and we really missed Disneyland. Can't wait to go back down there. So nice and warm. But the Tesla made it over 6,180 kilometers this trip. 3,090 on the way down, 3,090 on the way back. So unbelievable. Never done that in any vehicle, and it's quite amazing to do it in an electric one. Alright everybody, we got to get the kids into bed and get everything put away, so good night.